Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
This is Jennifer Sierra.
I'm Jennifer SIERA-GROBBELAAR with the Broward Center for the Performing Arts.
Yes, and she's a real experienced person with this, and we love to have people like this, and we love to talk about the arts. Mm-hmm. It's really very important for us. Mm-hmm. So we're on the radio now, I believe. We're on air, and let me just say that to get people, to go to the theater is a lot easier nowadays, Jennifer. Years ago, people came down here and they said, "There's nothing here," right? I remember that was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And slowly we got a few things. Miami had something, but people in Palm Beach County didn't want to drive down there. And then Broward, of course.
Gleason.
Exactly. I went to the Jackie Gleason show. And so for Broward to take a big leap, because performing arts centers are not cheap.
No, they're not. But we have a world-class performing arts center, and I am proud to call it my home.
Yes, and it is gorgeous, and it's in the middle. So if you live in Palm Beach County or live in Miami, it's in the center, and you can go. I was looking at your extraordinary upcoming shows, and maybe you want to talk about them and some of the others. Why don't you do that for our listeners?
So just going back to the Performing Arts Center itself, I think that not a lot of people know that we have the Broward Center for the Performing Arts manages and operates a variety of venues here in South Florida, including the Broward Center itself. On our campus, we have 3 facilities. We have the Alreen Theater, which is approximately 2,600 seats, so it's a big concert hall. We have the Amaturo Theater, which is approximately 600 seats, a more intimate space. And then we also have the Abdu New River Room, which is more of a cabaret space, so very intimate concerts, interactive, theatrical types of experiences. So that's what we have on campus.
Which is the one where I could have something to eat.
That is the Abdu New River Room.
I love that, right?
And also during the Broadway runs, so during Broadway Across America presentations, that room is converted into a restaurant, which is called The Grill at the Abdu New River Room. So you can have pre-theater dining on campus. You don't have to go find dining somewhere else and then park and then come to the theater and park again. You could all do it in one shot. I believe it's $32 if you buy it in advance, $36 day of, and it's a beautiful buffet that's customized based on the theme of the Broadway show that you're attending.
Oh, really?
So for the last show that we had, which was Aladdin, it was Moroccan inspired. So they had Moroccan lamb and hummus and tzatziki and all of those things to sort of get you in the mood and the theme and the spirit. So we changed it up for every Broadway Across America show that plays within our hall.
Smart.
So that's our venue on campus. And then we also present shows at Parker Playhouse.
I was just there. I just saw
Jewel Box Theater.
I just saw Kenny Vance there.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Fabulous.
We're going under a major restoration right now. We're in phase 1. So some of the infrastructure things have started to take place, and we're still able to present concerts. We're going to temporarily close over the summer for a few months to do the major part of the restoration, renovation, bringing it up to the 20th century, while still keeping with the same artistic values that the center was crafted around.
Because it was old. It was one of the first ones in
Yes,
Fort Lauderdale,
I believe
I think,
it opened in I'm going to get this wrong. I hope I don't.
Okay,
I believe it's 67.
It was early.
So it's just over 50 years old. So it needed some love and TLC, and the renderings that they have provided to us to see what it's going to look like when it's fully transformed is going to be wonderful.
But I will tell you that the seating was beautiful.
Yep.
And they have about 1,000 seats. The audio, you can hear everything. It's really quite nice, and I'm sure when you get finished with it, it's going to be extraordinary.
And the seating is not going to change. The seats themselves, the chairs are going to be replaced and with new fabric, new cushions, but those lovely wide aisles and that almost continental type of seating arrangement that allows for you to walk by and not have to squeeze by your next door neighbor, that's all going to stay the same. So the things that you love about Parker are going to stay there, but some of the updates to the physical beauty of the place are just going to be amped up a bit and bring it into the 21st century.
So you've got the Parker, we've got all the Broward,
The Aventura Arts and Cultural Center.
Oh, I forgot
so
that you run
is a
that too.
beautiful little jewel box theater in
Right,
the heart of
on the
Aventura.
water.
On the water, 300 seats. Lots of great intimate concerts that we present there as well. They have a fantastic Broadway concert series, as well as dance and comedy and anything that your heart desires to see. There's all sorts of wonderful entertainment that goes to the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center.
So I just have to
And,
applaud you
yeah.
because you're the marketing director for all of this, I have to assume.
Yes, as
What?
well as presentations at the Miniachi, which is at Nova Southeastern University, and the Charles F. Dodge City Center, which is in Pembroke Pines. So we have
Oh, you're
shows
still
happening.
standing.
I know, right? I have a wonderful team. There's for marketing, we have a team of about 10 of us that are digital and traditional marketers. So we rally together and we crank it out like a machine. And right now we're in the height of our season with tons of shows coming up in February, March, and April.
Wow, no
Yeah.
wonder you went back there.
Yeah, it's vibrant, it's exciting.
Yes. Oh
it's
my
wonderful.
heavens! Well, let's just talk about some of them. I'm glad to know all this because I go to all of them, but I didn't know that you were behind that. That's super. So I had just recently, I don't know when I saw it, maybe the last time, I saw the Miami City Ballet there at the Broward Center.
Yes, they just had an extraordinary performance that was a throwback
The
to
Firebird.
the Firebird, but then they also just did the Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire tribute type of show that had all that nostalgia to it as well, and it was gorgeous. They do wonderful work. We have several partners in the arts that come to the Broward Center, including Miami City Ballet. We also partner with Symphony of the Americas, Gold Coast Jazz, Florida Grand Opera, South Florida Symphony Orchestra we do special collaborations with. So there's always something to see no matter what the genre. And then we also do what we call our own self-presentations where we go out and we seek different artists of different genres, whether it be music or comedy or theater or dance, and we present those ourselves as well. So there's always something for everyone.
Well, this is great that you're on the show because as much as I know a lot about the Broward Center, Parker Playhouse, I didn't know all the other things you're telling me. So we need to keep in tune with you. We need to, every week we need to know what's going on because we want to tell our audience about it so we keep those seats filled.
Yep.
Okay, so now tell us about some of the hot upcoming shows.
Sure. So this Saturday night, we have John Fogerty as our artist for our annual gala. And John Fogerty, people will remember from Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's almost a sold-out show. There's literally just a handful of seats left. So if you love the music of that generation, you love John Fogerty, I highly encourage your listening audience to get tickets immediately because it will sell out.
BrowardCenter.org.
BrowardCenter.org. So that's very exciting for us. Also, in terms of music, we have some really great R&B artists that are coming. Shalea, who was just featured on David Foster's PBS special that's been airing. She is a beautiful R&B artist she just sings amazing. So she's going to be at Parker Playhouse, and that'll be a beautiful, intimate R&B style concert. And she's doing a tribute to Aretha Franklin. So it's called Natural Woman. So it's a tribute to soul music.
Super. I love that song.
Yeah.
We all know that song.
We all know that song. So not long after Shalea, we also have a wonderful tribute to Ray Charles that's coming up called Georgia on My Mind that features a variety of great R&B artists. Yes, at Parker Playhouse. So another great concert. If you love more nostalgic music that could be either big band or Rat Pack flavored, we've got Paul Anka coming to the Broward Center. We've got Harry Connick Jr. coming, and he'll be there in March. Those tickets are moving fast, so highly recommend moving on those quickly. Both of those shows are anticipated to sell out. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Big Bad Voodoo Daddies.
No, I'm not. Great name, though.
But they do some great big band style music, but more updated in a modern age, and they have a lot of energy. I just saw them a few months ago. They were playing at one of the festivals in Disney World, and I forgot how great they are. They've been around for about 20 some years, doing some really great big band style jump, jive, and wail type of music. So that's going to be a higher energy performance. So we've got some great musicians. We've got some great folk artists and singer-songwriters. Bruce Hornsby is coming. Mary Chapin Carpenter with Sean Colvin. So if you like that sort of folk acoustic singer-songwriter type of genre, there's something for you there. But then we also have great tribute acts. So we've got a wonderful tribute to the Everly Brothers that happens at the end of March. We've got some really great British rock that's coming, including the music of Cream, a Bowie celebration, a tribute to David Bowie, Pink Floyd, One Night of Queen, Steve Hackett.
One Night of Queen.
One Night of Queen. I mean, who doesn't love Freddie Mercury? So this is a tribute to him and his music, and it's really wonderful. It sells out every year. The performer has just amazing energy. We're just very excited to have him back. So, we've got some great British rock artists, and then if you love instrumentalists, we have Kenny G. Saxophone, great, is going to be there. Itzhak Perlman, everybody knows he's one of the most world famous violinists around.
I sold him a house when I was in real estate in Boca
You
Raton.
did.
Right.
What a small
Yes,
world.
you never know, but he is. He's a nice man.
I've heard great things about him, and he's just an amazing musician. Sometimes I'm in awe of the fact that I get to work in an environment.
His wife and
see
his
these
children
people
all play
regularly.
too,
Yeah. Chris Bodie, who audiences will have seen his many specials on PBS. He's a trumpet player. Wonderful artist. I saw him last year at Parker. This year, he's going to be in the big theater at Broward Center. So very excited about that. It's a beautiful night of jazz. And then we have another orchestra that's called the Max Raab Orchestra, and they are from Germany, and it is a symphonic big band style type of performance. So musically, there's something for everyone in every type of genre that we touch. Last night we had a sold-out performance of Willie Nelson. So, if you love country, love rock and roll, love R&B, there's a little something for everyone.
So now, as the marketing director, I know you want to see all the shows.
Yeah.
Do you ever go home to your husband?
I know, right?
You invite him.
I
to
invite him to come. In fact,
Yeah, of
he's
course.
coming as his late birthday present / Valentine's. We're going to go see John Fogerty together because
course.
he's a huge Creedence Clearwater Revival fan. But I spend a lot of time at the theater, but I love what I do, and I love the performing arts. And we do more than just music. We've got some really great comedians coming up. So if you want a night of laughs, everybody from Greg Proops, who was on Whose Line Is It Anyway, to Colin Quinn, who made his, audiences will know him from being on MTV regularly and being with Saturday Night Live. He has his own one-person stand-up show. We have Gary Gulman, who sells out every year, and Paula Poundstone's coming. She's a riot. I love her comedy.
I listened to her NPR.
Her NPR thing, it's great. I'm actually really excited about that. And then one of my personal favorites, Brian Regan, who doesn't tour that often down here. He's a very clean family comic. He's really super funny. So he's coming to Parker Playhouse as well. And then my personal favorite of all the things that we do, and I love all the stuff that we do.
You ready?
Is theater. So
of course.
theater, Broadway, theatrical type shows. So Broadway Across America has Mean Girls, which is coming in March, based on the movie from the 90s. It was written by Tina Fey from Saturday Night Live, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's been adapted into a fresh, funny, energetic musical. That's going to be wonderful, and it's just around the corner, so it's just about to open. So make sure that when you come, you should wear your pink, just like
Right?
the girls in Mean
Yes.
Girls. And then one of my personal favorites that I saw last year, Come From Away, which is the true story of what happened on September 11th when all of these international flights that were coming from Europe had to be diverted to a small town in Gander, Newfoundland.
Right.
7,000 passengers, small island town of 5,000 people, and the community literally opened their doors to these strangers from all over the world. And after seeing it last year, it's beautifully written. It has fantastic music, but it also, at least for me, restores my faith in humanity.
Yes.
And about how in times of need we all pull together. And I remember walking out of the theater with my husband after we saw it last year, and I said, I want to go to Gander. I want to meet these people, because it's an amazing story that's true, and it's just told in a very very special way.
And so I had heard that happened, but so then someone actually made that they
There's
wrote
a documentary.
Is it a book also? It was just a documentary.
It's a book, it's a documentary, and now it's a musical. All about the same events. All had different people involved with each incarnation of it. So this is the musical story of what happened that day.
So lovely.
And then we finish out the Broadway season with Bandstand, which is not American Bandstand. People think that it's American Bandstand, but it's not. It is a story of 6 World War II veterans who come back from the war, who have to sort of rediscover and reestablish and redefine themselves, and they find it through music of the big band era. And it's a beautiful show. I saw it in the movie theaters. They did a live broadcast of it with Fathom Events last year. So to see it live, I think it's going to be really powerful and wonderful. And I think that your audiences will really love that show in particular.
They're drooling right now, and
Yeah.
I want to give you credit, so I want to talk about you for a minute.
Sure.
Jennifer SIERA-GROBBELAAR.
Yes.
And she is Director of Marketing. She's a magician. Broward Center for the Performing Arts, and just go to browardcenter.org. Rather than giving you a phone number, it's better. And actually, Ticketmaster is how you're going to pay for your tickets. But I think if you go on the website, because there's so many things you're doing, that way they can go through each thing.
And if they go to browardcenter.org, they see what's happening at all of our venues, no matter which theater it's playing at. So you don't have to go necessarily to the Aventura website or the Miniachi website or Charles Upton. It's all under browardcenter.org, even though they all have their respective websites as well. And our box office phone number is 954-462-0222. That is our dedicated Ticketmaster line specifically for shows at the Broward Center.
And I just have to explain to people that get away from your television. You know, with my hat on here, I say, if you go, and I go to so much live theater and live performances, because you come away, life is different. When you sit in front of the television, it's just not good enough. And you go to this and you see people who are performing, you wonder how, if it's a play, how do they remember their lines? If it's music, where were they yesterday and the day before? How do they keep this up?
Sure.
It's such interaction.
Yeah, and I often think about the relationship between the audience and the cast dynamic on stage, and how that energy feeds off each other. If you have a very quiet audience, the show can be very different than those that are where you actually see the audience lean in and really listen to, not just listen, but just let themselves be immersed in the journey. That's what I love about live theater, because it's one of those only opportunities where you are experiencing the same thing with a room full of people. You're all going on the same journey together. If you're home watching TV, it's you watching something. Maybe it's funny, you laugh by yourself, but that's a very different feeling than going to a live entertainment venue and experiencing it with other people.
Jennifer, I had Kenny Vance on my show a morning. He came in live a few weeks ago. He was so good. I had not really known about him that much, and when I went to the theater, they did just what you said. They stood up, they clapped, they rang. I mean, it was like amazing. And then after everyone went out into the lobby, you couldn't even get through. The lines were so long to talk to him. He's coming on my show again on the 29th.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he really liked it, and I say to you, if you find people you want to come on my show, I will open that opportunity for you.
Well, I actually have some people in mind that it's one other sort of arm of ours that we have with the Broward Center. So as I mentioned, we have all these great partnerships with these local arts organizations. And there is a local professional theater company in residence at the Broward Center, Slow Burn Theater Company. And if your audiences have not heard about them, they should check them out. All of the shows are locally produced. Local actors, local director, local
playwrights.
Not local playwrights. They often take theatrical works that are well known. Some of them that are a little bit more obscure. Most of them are Broadway type titles.
Sounds like it's off Broadway almost.
Almost,
a little bit.
But it's professional theater quality. They are not just well received by audiences; they're critically acclaimed as well. Every year in South Florida, we have something called the Carbonell Awards, which is sort of our local answer to the Tonys. It's where we recognize all of the local great talent within our Tri-County community. And this year, this past season, they won 4 awards for Best Musical, Best Choreographer, Best Leading Actor, Best Leading Actress. 3 of those awards were for their musical presentation of Memphis. The Best Actress award was for The Bridges of Madison County, which is a gorgeous musical. So the nominations just came out for this coming award season. They were just nominated for 12 awards over 4 different shows that they did, including Shrek, A Christmas Story, Jekyll and Hyde, and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And they do phenomenal work. They're locally based. I think they would be great guests for your shows.
Slow Burn
Theater Company. And their next production is something that I think your audiences will love. Ragtime, the musical, Tony Award-winning musical, which won for Best Musical, Best Book, Best Score. It's about turn of the century United States when immigrants were coming into the country and everybody was sort of trying to figure out how to live and work together and how America became the America that we know today. Beautiful music. I just saw their cast list, and having seen a lot of these performers in some of their other shows, I think it's going to be extraordinary. So I highly encourage your audiences to check out that production, and if that gives them lets them whet their appetite, I'm sure that they will come back for more. Over the summer, they're doing a production of Footloose, so that's a nice, fresh, fun musical, and they just announced their upcoming season, which includes Head Over Heels, which is a Shakespeare-inspired musical to the music of the Go-Go's from the 80s, so that should be fun. Mary Poppins, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, again, another multi-Tony Award-winning show that won Best Musical, Best Book, Best Score. Very clever. One of my personal favorite musicals. They're also doing The Full Monty, and they end their next season with Kinky Boots.
Oh,
so
it's too much.
People who are current subscribers to Slow Burn can renew right now.
Okay.
Their deadline actually ended last Friday on Valentine's Day, but we're extending it for another week, so you have a few more days to renew if you haven't.
Because they sell out, don't they? So that's why you want to be a subscriber.
And new subscriptions go on sale in March. So
it's great.
Well,
so I'm going to leave it up to you
Yeah.
to find the kinds of people like you. Hopefully they are as articulate as you, and I'm sure they are, because they wouldn't be in the theater if not. But let's do that. Let's maybe start to get people on, and they'd love it, and then it would be good for the promotion of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We love this relationship, and anybody else that we can bring on to talk about what we do at the Broward Center and our affiliated venues, we're happy to do it.
Have you ever been an entertainer? You look like you could have been.
You
could have been in theater, or unless
really,
you're saying you do something.
No, I'm behind the scenes.
Ah.
I do have a music background. I did take piano for 11 years.
Well, then, of course,
and I got to
something.
a certain level where it didn't become fun anymore, because it was all about perfectionism. I had a teacher that was from Juilliard who broke my love of playing piano. But I'll still occasionally play on the keys very occasionally. But I think that foundation and that love of music.
And you understand what people have to go through.
I do. I know viscerally what they have to go through because I've been there. So aside from that, I was in orchestra when I was in high school. I played a variety of different instruments in orchestra.
I played in orchestra, the Glockenspiel.
Oh, wow.
And in the
That's
band.
Wonderful. That's great. I was in marching band. I was in
right.
orchestra. I was
so
in
was
jazz band. My
where
brother
did you,
was
Where
too.
did you grow up?
I grew up here in South Florida, but when I was in 8th grade, my mom moved us to New York. And I went to high school up in New York, Francis Lewis High School. And then when I was 18, after I graduated, I moved back. And I got my first job well, it wasn't my first, it was my first job here, was working for the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, and I worked in the concessions. So, you know,
you belong here.
We
need a plaque up
was
there
in my
right.
DNA because I've been with the venue.
It's
so
great.
in various capacities, so for a long time.
I have to tell you, I have a lot of people from the arts that are on the show, and I don't think I've ever had anyone as articulate and boy, your mind's like a sieve. I mean, you know all this, you go through it.
Yeah.
You're really a great guest. I'm really appreciative that you came here because if people don't really go to something there, they're crazy. I mean, they have to, and we have a very loyal listenership, and I know that they've heard this, and they will either go to any of the ones that, you know, the one that I know Parker Playhouse is in a different location, but the Broward Center is a great location right off Broward Boulevard, and then the Aventura one is, of course, in Aventura. But I hope that people will get in touch to see what's going on, browardcenter.org, because there's going to be something for you.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to worry whether you just like music or you like theater or you like, you know, stand-up comic.
Yep. And if you have kids in the family, we have lots of great family entertainment.
Oh, we haven't talked about that.
I know. We've got Scooby-Doo Live coming this summer, MasterChef Junior Live. That we have our own summer camp that we do over the summer.
Important.
And it's a performance-based summer camp where the participants actually get to be part of a production at the end of the camp. So it's rewarding to work in an environment that not only presents great entertainment, but also fosters the education of our youth in bringing up the next up and comers that are going to be on the stages to entertain audiences.
Definitely, and so it's important. But just you've said that. So this is theater, folks. We want you to go there for all you know, events. You can go yourself. You can take people, guests. You can, if you want to sponsor, you can do everything. Well, Jennifer, it has just been electrifying having you here.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's my honor and my privilege, and thank you for inviting me here.
And we look forward to it. And for people who just got the February issue, go look at their. They have 6 shows they've featured, but it's just the beginning, and we'll be hearing a lot more from them. And it's so wonderful that you took the time to come here with your busy schedule. Now I know how busy you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anita.